Mr. Gatekeeper here, out here around northeast end of Georgia. Here you go, Mr. 034. My good buddy 034 up there up the eastern seaboard around New York. We got your Xforce finished here, bud. The story behind this is Mr. 034 purchased this thing brand spanking new and was driving it with a single final radio and popped a pill. Yes, y'all heard that right. Popped a pill with a single final radio. That is a cigarette, y'all. Celebration cigarette, of course. That is the only bad thing about these DEIs that I have heard a lot about. I myself don't have a whole lot of experience with these DEI type transistors yet. I have a little bit. I've done a few boxes with them. So far, personally, I haven't had any issues, but I've only done, like I said, just a few boxes, maybe four or five at the most. But I have heard some crazy stories. Heard stories of a guy building about five pills, and within a few months, over half of them's already made their way back, and everybody's just using single final radios. So, you know, it's just one of them things, man. I know they're not as durable as regular Toshibas, but you know, as far as I know, if you run them fine on decent voltage, you're fine. But this fella was running it fine, actually underdriving it on decent voltage, and he still popped one. So you never know, man. Well, anyway, so what I went ahead and did for you, of course, as we've already talked about, I went ahead and just took those four out. I guess I could have had them laying here, but they're over there in the bin. But I took them four out, and while taking them out, one of the ones that were still good actually just completely came apart. 034, I think we talked about that. So one of the ones that were still good actually just the top popped off of it, and two of the leads popped off of it while I was just taking it out. So that one's no good. So it's still got two good ones that you're gonna be taking in on trade. And I always believe in doing that for everybody. You know, if they're still good parts, it's worth money. You know, I'll take them in on a trade or send them back to the customer. But so another concern of the box from Mr. 034 was that it had a little bit of reflect, had a little bit of SWR, and on this end, on my Antron 99, which is over here to the right of me, out up in the tree, I have pretty much a perfect match with it on the MFJ, and I had about 2 to 3 watts reflect at full output. Okay, and I checked it too on just a hot radio, and it actually was right there about the same, maybe a half a watt less. So it had a little bit on the output reflect. We've got that down to about a half a watt, but that's all I could get it. I couldn't get it any more flatter. And the input reflect is fine. I'll show that to you as well. I'm going to switch around some jumpers to show you all that. But right now I'm set up to show you the output reflect, okay? Let me show you the output reflect. So we got the 10 watt slug in. Okay, let me go ahead and flip on this driver just so you can get the full. Just so you can get the full output, so you can see the reflect at full output. Alrighty, here's what you're getting on a dead key. Alright, just a little. Look, that's about a watt. Look. Look. So it's right there, I would say, swaying from about a watt to maybe just a little bit under a watt, maybe a watt and a half. Excuse me, not a watt and a half, maybe a half About a half a watt to a watt. Alrighty. That ain't bad, man. I mean, I'm about to show you, you're swinging 1,000 watts, man, PEP. Right there at 400 RMS, maybe a tad bit under. That's not bad, man. That's fine. I mean, I'm not too shabby. I'm not too worried about a watt reflect or a little bit under a watt at full output like that. Alright. Next, I am going to, okay, we're going to leave the driver off. I'm going to take this 10 watt slug out and put it in the input. This is in front of the box, in between the box and the radio. Alright, now to do this correctly, since I don't have that hooked up to the hot radio in line, I'm going to unplug that coax and plug up the bench radio coax, which does 4 watts RMS. Hot radio does double, 8. And we're about to have a radio coming in that might do triple. Thanks to Mr. Stickman up there. A little bit of Stickman technology. Alrighty. Let's flip over here and flip that power supply off. Leave that one on. I think I got one. I think I got them one channel up so they don't make a lot of ruckus with each other. Okay. Alright, man, so here's your input reflect. Good. It's a 10 watt slug. The 100's 10 watts, the 20 is 2 watts. Good. So you're good, man. You're sitting there about 0.25 of a watt. However you call that, a quarter of a watt. There you go. Alright. Alright, man. I'm just gonna hook the old hot radio up here, man. Just show you a full output there. Well, I guess we can leave this. We'll leave the bench radio in first and show you what it's doing with the bench. Okay, and then we'll hook up the hot radio. And I've got the driver just turned all the way up. Okay, this is actually the first box I ever built. So it's an ugly one too, man. I'll give you a quick peek, super quick now, because this cat figure's ugly. It could break a mirror. Look at that. Ugh. I was hurry and get the top back on. Whew. Thing right there break a mirror, boy. That trigger's so ugly. Alright, let's get the 1,000 back in. Alrighty. Before I do that, let me turn this light on to show you what we did do. Let's see if I can find that other capacitor. I guess I ain't as prepared as I thought I was, but like we talked that, man, there was a 150 picofarad 6 kilovolt ceramic disc cap in there, which you know, to me it's very, very adequate. But like I said, man, what I went ahead and did is just took that ceramic out, and I just, you know, threw in a tuner myself, tuned it in, and it tuned out about 6 to 8 picofarad higher than what the ceramic was already at. So what I went ahead and did was just hooked you up with two 500 volt metal micas in parallel there. So that's equal to a decent load for that output, and that is very adequate, man. Them things can get good and hot on you and still stay pretty dang accurate with the capacitance there. So we went ahead and got that in there for you, and replaced the resistor on this combiner that was blown as well. I took all the 10 ohms out and just went ahead and replaced them as well. So those are new 10 ohms there, and of course this is the new fresh matched set from RF Parts, 14-1Q DEI. So that's pretty much about all we've done, except that right there. I know we talked about that, Mr. 034. You was kind of wondering about the airflow of everything, and I said, well, we can throw you an extra fan, because you do got that extra space right there. And like I said, I've done this with a few other Xforce as well, and I actually got the idea from one of my local buddies, Mr. 073. I seen him do one that way. Turned out pretty good. So we got that fan right there, man. It's blowing real nice. You can tell the airflow is actually was picked up a little bit with the top on. All right, let's go ahead and get this done. I got a lot of stuff to do around here. All right, we're gonna hit it just with the bench radio, 4 watts drive into the driver right here. All right, we're on RMS. Go. You know what I just thought of? Yeah, we're not going to be able to use the bench radio. I don't know what I was thinking. That's just the bench radio driving. It's not going through the driver. Y'all forgive me, man. Y'all know by a couple of my videos already. I get tongue-tied. There you go. I get tongue-tied and tongue-twisted. I get all mixed up, this and that. Y'all know how I do, man. And I was thinking I was just going to leave the bench radio up and let y'all see what it was doing with the bench radio going to the driver. But the way I had that hooked, it was actually bypassing the driver. So, all right, we're back. We'll hook back up with the hot radio here. All right, and I'm going to turn this off just to let you see what this is producing with the hot radio. This is not a high output driver. This is just a single 2879, but like I said, it is not high output at all. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Just lean over here, turn the hot radio on, bench radio off, 1000 watt slug. We're just on the driver. Go, yeah, maybe 3540 bird. Turn the PEP kit on. Oh, a hair over 100 watts, maybe 110. So we're going to be driving about 100, 110 PEP, 3540 bird, which is perfectly fine for some Toshibas. I just really can't comment with the DEIs. Like I said, I don't have a lot of experience myself running DEI, so I don't really want to talk on that, but a lot of other fellas have had a lot of experience with the DEIs, especially Arlen over at Xforce, so it'd be best to ask one of them what the max it's safe to run into these things. So I just still got to play around with them a little bit, but I'm just going to show you a little top end just so you can see what the box is doing on the top end here. Alright, so we got the driver on. Turn the box back on. Alrighty. Here we go. So there's your 400 watts RMS. Alrighty. Go ahead and flip the PEP on. Off the scale. 1000 watts in the corner. There you go, brother. I don't want to kid too many times like that. I'm a paranoid operator, y'all. I'm sorry. That's just the way I am, man. I just want to show you how it is, though, man. These days, man, you got to be careful, you know. These things are so cat-picking expensive. I'm one of them type of operators. I want to run my stuff so they'll last. All right, Mr. 034. There you go, brother. Sorry it took so long, man. Everybody else out there just waiting on me, please forgive me. Just hold, hang in there with me, y'all. We making some changes. I even got me a little secretary now that's going to be starting. Miss DB, Miss Delta Bravo on this cat picking end. She's going to be helping the gatekeeper get his crap straightened out and get a little bit more organized, because I got a lot of messages coming in, y'all, that I just cannot get to. And I know a lot of y'all know that. That cat picking ain't emailed me back. I didn't email them, twat. Y'all just bear with me, man. We're doing all we can, and we're also growing day by day. So I want to say God bless. I'm glad this turned out well for you, Mr. 034. And wait till y'all see what's going to be next for him. It's going to be a beautiful sight. So that'll be the next video for him. And we'll go ahead and get this thing wrapped up for you, big brother, and give you a call. Mr. Gatekeeper said it out here around Northeast Georgia. We're good and gone. Bye-bye.